Okay, this is Orlando Wilson, and in this video I want to answer a question that somebody sent me, reference fitness for close protection. What's the best type of fitness training? Well, there is no standard fitness training, and I think if people started to bring in fitness requirements for close protection, a lot of people would be dropping out the close protection business, especially us old people. You know what? The close protection business, and this is what a lot of people don't get, the close protection business is very, very diverse. So different aspects of fitness come into different aspects of the close protection business. There is not one training regime, etc., etc. Let me try and give you a couple of stories. Well, put things in perspective. From my perspective, I would say one of the biggest issues I've had with people doing courses and also working with people, a lot of people cannot walk. You need to be able to walk for extended periods of time, all day. You need to be able to stand it up all day, stand in one spot for 6-8 hours. And that's a killer on the legs, it's a killer on the feet, it's a killer on the back, etc. Why? Because standing static somewhere for an extended period of time is worse than walking up hills all day. I would say whatever you're training to do, there needs to be an endurance factor more than anything else, because you need to be able to walk for extended periods of time, stand up for extended periods of time. That's, from my perspective, we put an emphasis on the low profile commercial protection, where we can be out in the street all day. That's it. So you need the endurance. Now, if you're doing the more high profile protection, then, or the celebrity protection, yeah, then maybe you want to bulk up, etc. That's a lot more of an image conscious side of the protection business. People want to see big guys, maybe big girls. So again, if you're heading into that sector of the close protection business, if that's what you want to do, bulk up. I have issues with guys that are too bulked up. Why? Because in my world, they stand out too much. And again, I've had issues over the years with guys not being able to, bulked up guys, not being able to move and not being able to walk. I remember one guy come to my course in South Florida, and the first thing out of his mouth was, oh, I got a fighter's license, etc. Boxing license. And the reason he had the boxing license, I found out afterwards, was because to spar in a lot of the gyms, or spar in the gym he went to, he needed a fighter's license to cover the insurance of him getting punched, etc. You know what? On that course, he couldn't keep up with the amount of walking we're doing. One of the drills, well, quite a few of the drills involved walking around for a couple of hours around various sites in South Florida. He couldn't do it. He couldn't keep up. Why? He was bulked up, and when I pulled him for it, he's like, well, I only fight for 3 minutes, etc. Which was complete BS. You need endurance, especially if you're a fighter, serious fighter. So again, that's a guy that looked fit, but he wasn't fit. He was bulked up. I've had other people come to the courses, and one guy comes to mind, young guy, 25, again, looked very fit, too bulked up, too stiff, couldn't move. On the firearms courses, I had him do a couple of hundred draws, dry draws with a pistol from a holster, unloaded pistol, of course, before we go to the range and go live. You know what? He had issues drawing from various positions because he's too big, he's too bulked up. Another guy I remember come for our courses recently, again, too bulked up. For the firearm stuff, he couldn't get into proper stances because his biceps were too big and his chest was too big. So this is where those guys work for the celebrity, the high profile. People they look a little bit intimidating. Okay, that works for that side of the close protection business. But to me, if you're looking for the more serious side of the close protection business, you need to move, you need to be flexible, etc. You need the endurance. Even from the training perspective, some of the courses we've run over the years, especially the law enforcement courses, you know what, we're talking 16 hours a day for up to 18 to 21 days. And it's exhausting. Bringing in as well part of your training, and this is where a lot of people are with it, etc. Okay, how fit are you if you've not slept in 24 hours? How fit are you if you've not gone without food, if you've gone without food for 24 hours? You know what, if you can still function after, well, to be in the close protection business, you need to be able to function normally after not sleeping for 24 hours or not eating for 24 hours. If you can't do that, then if you're in pieces, then the close protection business is not for you. The serious close protection business is not for you. Because again, sometimes I've been going solid 36 hours, 36 hours because I have to. Am I tired afterwards? I'm exhausted afterwards, but it's what you have to do. Now, I've just mentioned eating, and this is another thing. I've had issues over the years on courses with a lot of the fitness guys and girls because they need to eat every few hours. You know what? If you have to eat, as I said, if you can't go without food for 24 hours, there's a problem. To me, these guys and girls that have to eat how many meals a day, etc., then that's an addiction. It's not fitness, it's an addiction. You cannot turn up on a job, and I've had people turn up on a course with their little Tupperware boxes with chicken and rice and whatever. You know what? If you're with a client, you can't be walking around with a bag full of boxes of chicken and rice. You cannot stop a whole job because you need to eat. So this is again with guys on the supplements, etc. It's like if you're traveling somewhere and you can't get your supplements, what are you going to do? The job comes first, not your fitness. If it's down where your fitness is priority, you have to eat, you have to do this, you have to do that. It's not fitness, it's an addiction. I've come across one thing I avoid with people doing steroids. I've come across a few people over the years where I got stories about people on steroids, and it's not good. If you're doing steroids, you know what, it might work for some people, but I will never hire you, put it that way. Legal or illegal steroids. Why? Because again, it's an addiction. You don't need steroids to bulk up. If you're using steroids to bulk up, then you know what, your choice, your world, best of luck to you. Please stay out of my world. So little video on fitness, my perspective on fitness. So I put an emphasis on, you know what, you don't have to be super fit, but to me, you need to be able to stay on your feet and walk, stand up, move for extended periods of time. And I don't mean a day, 2 days, I mean weeks. That's, your fitness needs to be general fitness and part of your lifestyle. And as I said, even from the self-defense perspective, the firearms perspective, because you need to be fit for a lot of the firearm stuff as well, the emphasis on flexibility rather than bulking up. Yeah, people say about bulking up, well, you know what, I like blades, I like razors. So you need to be able to be faster than this, because this, if you can't move, this will soon bring you down to size, however big you are. The more muscle, the more there is to cut, put it that way. So again, emphasis on flexibility and being able to walk. So I hope that makes sense. I hope that's a little bit of advice. We've got a lot more videos going up. I've got an array of books on Amazon to do with various aspects of the security business. These are going out in podcast format as well. So follow us along on social media. And again, if you've got any questions, etc., pop me a line. It might take me time to get back to you, but I will get back to you. So I hope this video makes sense. Just my perspective. The close protection business is very diverse. So train for your job. That's the best thing I can say. Look at your job, look what you have to do, look what you need, and train for your job. Be safe, stay good, stay out of trouble.